All right, guys. So I'm trying out this layout for right now, just as a test. I don't like how bright this light is, okay? Because my acne right now is on it's at an all-time high. It's at like the seasonal high. But I have no idea. Maybe it's because I started using this shit again. It might make it worse when you first start using it. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Don't ask me, bro. My shit is horrible right now, bro. I don't even want to have this light this bright, bro. Like when I go to the gym, I'm gonna have to like wear a mask as I'm working out or something. This is unbelievable. This should be killing you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I hate that. I hate that because you can't be as confident as you want to be, even though you're working on being confident, right? But it's just like fuck. Ah. Anyway, man, this ain't about that, man. We got a new video, right? I've been out of the game for a little bit, almost like a month now, almost since I last dropped the video, and I was actually really upset because they had deleted my Sideman reaction video, which I don't know if I'm gonna even make a part two. But now I actually have this like cool little like not cool. It's just it's really simple. Like there's nothing on it, but like I wanted to do this because I don't want to take up too. I don't want my camera to take up too much of the screen. So I thought, fuck it, why not let it take up at least some, just not all of it, right? Because I mean, I still want the video to be, you can view it, and I want it to be super small. Um, but I'm also trying this out, right? Anyways, let's get right into the video. I don't want to make these videos too long anymore. I want to have a short and nice, keep it simple, nice little intro. Buddha, drop your pride, overcome your anger by Freedom in Thought. We're gonna learn why we should drop our pride and how we can overcome anger. Let's go.
This video was made possible by Brilliant, a math and science problem-solving
Shit is
website
working.
that makes learning fun.
It seems like it's working. Okay.
In the Dhammapada,
The
Buddha
Dhammapada
says that a wise person is beyond anger.
Okay.
Anger poisons the mind.
You see, I immediately disagree. Because, well, I mean, as wise as you may be, I mean, it's just like we're not really built to not feel emotion. I mean, I guess it depends on how literal you're being with the definition. Like the definition of a wise person would be the person that is so rational, right, that they don't do a lot of things, but that doesn't really apply for all like circumstances. Like at some point you're gonna feel anger as long as you're a being that can exist and that can feel, and that you're self-aware, and you feel things, right? Like whatever happens to you, like somebody comes here, he fucking decks me, right? Mike Tyson walks in the room right now, just comes in, bow. I'm gonna feel that, and I might be a little bit angry, but I can't do nothing about it because it's Mike Tyson. But that's just that specific example, right? Like for example, how are you not gonna get angry? I don't think a wise person is above anger. I consider myself to be somewhat of a wise person. I'm not above anger. I try not to be so angry. Obviously I go about life with some good attitude. I try to, at least whenever I can. I understand that gratitude is the antidote to dissatisfaction. Whatever's going on that you think is bad in your life, usually it's never really that important. It's never really that big, right? It's just like I also read a quote today that was like, if tomorrow you knew you were gonna die, is what you're getting mad about, like, is what you're getting mad about today, like, really worth it? Like, would you really want that to be something that you're getting mad about if you, like, knew you were gonna die the next day? And, a wise person is, as wise as you can be, there's just certain moments where you're gonna get angry. I mean, of course, I'm gonna hear him out, but I just, it seems to me that you're gonna get angry. I don't think that's possible.
Of isolation and sorrow. So can I purge the mind of anger once and for all? That's what I'm interested in exploring, and I'm going to explore this idea through a dialogue. The following is a conversation.
It's like if you're an ascetist monk or something,
anger
right?
Anger poisons the mind, turning you into a venomous snake.
Shit.
You start biting those around you, hurting them and causing them to avoid you.
Hold on, wait. What can I do here? Should I make the shit smaller? Should I make my camera small? Maybe I should just move the camera. There we go. Maybe I should make it a little smaller. Okay, there we go. Well, at this point, just fucking...
It's a sad thing to be avoided by others. But as your poison becomes more potent, your anger turns into hate, and then into resentment, and people avoiding
It's bothering me. It's bothering me that if I'm not in that corner anymore, you might as well you might as well just completely fill it out then. Like, if I'm not in that corner, you might as well just make the full screen. Like, I don't care.
Turns into alienation. You'll feel very lonely and separate from the world, from humanity, and this alienation will cause you great sadness or sorrow. Student. But anger is necessary for some things, isn't it?
Yes.
Anger helps us restore justice and correct unfairness in the world, doesn't it?
You could even use it to hit the gym.
Let's take a look. When you think of a good judge, do you think of someone who's filled with anger? Or do you think of someone
Well, I
who's
wouldn't
calm?
say filled with anger.
Calm, definitely.
Ad?
Why?
Seriously?
Looking for royalty-free music? Discover Epidemic Sound.
Right? See, a wise man would get mad over this ad. Oh,
Because
no, a wise man wouldn't get mad, so that's why I didn't get mad, right? I'm being a wise man.
Angry would be biased, uncareful,
Of course.
impatient, and unwilling to understand. So we both agree. Anger clouds our judgment. Anger wants to do nothing but reciprocate pain. But a good judge is interested in the end of all pain. Anger wants the other person to hurt. A good judge wants both people to flourish, to be without hurt, and that's true justice. Do you understand? Anger doesn't bring justice, and actually, it stands in the way. How do I overcome anger then? How do I clear it from my mind?
Well, what are you angry? Well, what the fuck are you angry
To
about? Like, I don't get it.
overcome anger, you have to pull it out completely from the root. So let's get to the root of anger.
The root of anger.
Okay, where do we start? Anger is produced by thought. The thought that someone insulted you, hurt you, betrayed your trust,
That man stepped on my
Literally.
crepes.
took advantage of
He
you.
stepped on my
and so on.
shoes.
So there's one thought
I'm angry
behind
about
anger.
it.
You shouldn't have done that. When the mind thinks you shouldn't have done that, then anger arises. Okay, but why do I have this thought? Thought arises from desire, and your desire for people to fulfill your expectations creates anger. When people violate your expectations of them, you think, you shouldn't have done that. That's the source of your anger.
Yes.
What's wrong with having expectations
not wrong.
of people? That's a good thing, isn't it? I never said anything
There's
was
his
wrong with it.
function.
If you want to hold on to anger, then it's a very good thing to have expectations of others. But as I said before, I've seen the fate of the angry mind. The angry mind doesn't.
And here's the
lead to
thing,
justice. It
right?
leads to alienation.
Quickly, like, don't subscribe completely to an ideology. I don't want to be a monk. I don't think you ever should go as far as being a monk, right? Like, I don't think this should be the ideal that, like, the ideal person in today's society, right? The man that's indifferent. I don't think that this should be what we should aspire to necessarily be. I don't think so. I don't think so, because I mean, you're still sort of a slave to something. This monk is a slave to some idea. I can't think of it right now, but he's a slave to something because he's completely just subscribing to an ideology. He's completely subscribed. Like, if you want to use Buddhist teachings as a tool, then use it as a tool, but don't go all the way as to be a monk and say that you're never going to be angry, right? Don't go, like, living an asceticism, being like an ascetist, whatever, however you say it, bro. I can't say it. But like the monks that, like, they don't want anything more than what they need. So they're like super like skinny and they don't do anything. They stay outside. They don't want to do anything because they're like, okay, we're gonna live with the bare minimum. We realize when you desire less things, you don't feel pain because you don't want anything. And then when you want anything, then you don't have a lack of anything, which therefore means that you have no pain. But it's just like, we're not really built for that, you know? And it's just like, it seems kind of like a cop-out. And I've said this multiple times, I think, on the channel. It just seems like it's kind of, you know, it's not really like... It just seems like maybe there's something better. Maybe in moderation, this is like very useful. But I think you don't want to go all out, right? Because I mean, it's just like, no. It's just like being too much of a stoic, right? Like you wouldn't bat an eye. You wouldn't like raise your eyebrow. You wouldn't even shed a tear. A full-on like die-hard stoic. They wouldn't care if their mom died. They wouldn't care if their dad died. They wouldn't care if their wife died and then had a miscarriage after having a miscarriage with his son. Like, he, like, oh, die-hard stoic wouldn't care, right? Because all he's worried about is him. Like, it seems a little bit like you're caring a little too much about yourself there. Am I the only one that feels that? It just seems like, you know, is that really what you really want to be aiming towards? Is that what we should like elevate and put it up here as like being like the peak level of humanity? Like, no, bro. What? Like it's just like, of course you want to limit pain and limit unnecessary things, but it's just like when you can go too far with it. Like I said, Smucks, I think that they're going way too far with that shit of never not needing anything. Like motherfuckers look anorexic. I'm not gonna hold you. Like at least some of the pictures I seen. I know not all of them. I mean, I'm sure not all of them. But like the way that they have like the statues where you can see like the ribs of the person, they just seem kind of malnourished. I'm not gonna hold you. And it's just like, I mean, you can do that. It's just like, not for me.
And sorrow. At least, that's what I've seen. That's why I have no desire to hold on to my anger. Then how do I let go of my anger? Your anger leaves you when your desire for people to live up to your expectations goes away. And your desire for people to live up to your expectations goes away when you see the lie behind it. What's the lie behind it?
What's the lie?
Why should anyone live up to your expectations?
Of
What
course,
makes
they don't
your
have to.
expectations so special? Why
No,
should they
they're
value
not.
your expectations over their own or someone else's? How do you know what anyone else should do? Think
I
about
don't.
what the word should really means. Everything that follows should is a direction. It's an instruction. Are you so special that you have the one set of instructions to life that no one
Nope.
else has access to?
Nope.
Are you so special that you know the destination everyone should walk to and
No.
the path they should take?
No.
Are you so special that everyone should live inside the boxes you put them in?
Nope. I don't.
guess, if I really think about it, there's no reason for anyone to live according to my expectations other than it's what I want. And why do you want it?
What I want
Because
it?
I think
Well,
it's for the best.
yeah, the best for
Best
me.
for who? You can't possibly know what's best for anyone else. So you must think it's best for you.
Yes.
But even then, expectations don't even guarantee the best for you. If I expect the tree to give me fruit without giving it water, you would call me a fool, wouldn't you? But I can have this expectation anyway. I can enforce this expectation on the tree. Then what happens? The tree dies because I didn't water it, and now I have no fruit. My own expectations of what was best led to what was worst. It's foolish to have expectations. But how can I live without expectations?
Yeah, that's actually sick,
I
you
need
know.
them to survive, don't I?
That's actually true.
Why
It's
would
very
you need
true.
expectations to survive. If I'm about
No, not
to eat
expectations to
something,
survive. No, I mean,
I need to have an expectation about whether it's safe to eat.
no, not an expectation. It's a desire. Like, you have dopamine. Like, I remember they put some inhibitors on like a rat or something, where they couldn't feel any like any drive. Like they completely blocked out some chemical, like shit in their brain, and they couldn't. They just literally, what is it? They drown? No, they didn't drown. No, what am I trying to say, bro? They died of thirst, right? Because they didn't have a need for anything. That dopamine chemical, it serves a function, a purpose to keep you wanting to go find your next meal, find your next bit of water, so you can, feel this body. And it's just like when they didn't have that, they didn't even want to do anything, and then they just died. Like they completely. That's like the function that's like keeping you alive, and you inhibit that, and it's just like, of course, motherfuckers is just not gonna do anything. So no, I don't think you need expectation. I think expectation it came up somehow, right, as a social construct to expect something. It's like the reciprocity thing, right? Okay, it's just like I feel like I'm doing this, so I expect this. Maybe it's just the leftovers of reciprocity. It's just like an extra thing that happened because of that, right? It's just like, well, in a social construct, I give, you give. So I guess if I give you something, somehow it came out, this thing came up called expectation, right? Millions of years ago, somebody gave somebody something. And then over time, motherfuckers just started expecting things. They started to be like, okay, I'll give you this. And I actually will also expect that you give me something. Or maybe something like that, but I don't know that shit.
Don't you see what you just did? You changed the definition of expectation to something we weren't talking about. An expectation, in the sense we were using it, is a should statement. What you're talking about is a prediction. We can't live without predictions, and you couldn't stop your brain from predicting the future if you wanted to. That's what the mind does. But you can live without expectations. And, in fact, when you let go of expectations, your mind can see the world for what it is.
What
not
is it?
what you think it should be. And when you see the world for what it is,
Which is
your
what?
mind gets better at predicting. And when your mind gets better at predicting, you get better at navigating the world. And when you get better at navigating the world,
Damn.
you can find your way to true justice. But pride leads to expectation, and expectation leads to anger, and anger doesn't lead to justice. And in fact, it's a barrier to justice. Justice is when you water the tree, and the tree gives you fruit. You both flourish and are without pain. But what's anger? Anger is when the tree doesn't give you fruit, so you don't water it. And because you don't water it, it doesn't give you fruit. And so the cycle spirals downwards until you're both gone. In the Dhammapada, Buddha says that a wise person is beyond anger, and that anger leads to sorrow. And I explored this idea more deeply through a dialogue. I was interested in the complete elimination of anger from the mind, and here's where I've arrived.
Okay.
The root of anger is pride. Pride is the belief that the world should be a certain way.
Should
Pride
be a
is
certain
believing that people should conform to my expectations of them. So when I'm prideful,
Like it says, like you can do that, and there's nothing wrong. Like you can accept that there's nothing wrong with you expecting something. Like it's in our nature, bro. Motherfuckers always want to just forget about human nature. Robert Greene talks about this, bro. You can't just go around saying, "Well, this person's a narcissist. This person's this and this and that," and it's just like, well, do you ever like look inward and like you realize that you're just like them? We all have very similar brains. There's barely any difference between any of our brains. It's just like we have an animal brain, bro. It's just like seriously, like why? It's just like ugh. But he's right though. Like for what they're trying to get at, if you're trying to not feel angry, he's 100% right. Like you get this, and then you save it, and you're just like, well, he's right, right? This is knowledge that I've listened to what he has to say. I think he's right. I will try to use this knowledge as best as I can, right? I will try to actually make use of this knowledge, and then you go about your day and you realize, well, if I don't have any pride and I don't expect anything, is expectation something? Is pride really always what it is? Is it always pride? I mean, he kind of got me. Like I feel like he's right. Like I wanted to agree that a wise man wouldn't be angry, but for some reason I don't feel like I can say it for sure. Like it's really, there's a few examples where I feel like maybe you'd have to be angry. You can't just be too passive. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's a tool.
You shouldn't do that. And this thought leads to anger. Anger leads to alienation. And alienation leads to sorrow. But when you drop pride, you drop your expectations of the world. And when you drop your expectations of the world, you see the world as it is. And when you see the world as it is, your understanding of it improves.
It isn't words.
And it's only through understanding that we can move towards true justice, the
Right.
mutual flourishing of all things.
Right.
As always, this is just my opinion and understanding of the Buddha's words, not advice.
Dhammapada.
Feel free to use this information however you like, and if you have a different take on his words, I'd love to hear your perspective.
I need to hear these comments because I know somebody knows what
And
I'm
if
talking
you're looking
about.
for a fun
Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Get your shit in, boy. Yes, sir. Get your little. I wish you. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Yoda. Yeah, it's okay to get mad. I was just discussing it with my husband and about my anger. This is super synchronized for me, lol. Thanks. Healthy relationship with anger and holding on to anger. Maybe that's what this video is getting at. It's just worded weird. But anger is normal and healthy to feel. That's what I'm saying. Living in it and being unable to be empathetic, fair, communicative, and respectful to the boundaries of others while feeling angry isn't what you want to do. It's not even so much about expectation, not for me at least, as much as it is equality and understanding. That can still be achieved even if you feel angry. You just need to know how to regulate it. And even if someone doesn't reciprocate that equality and understanding, you can still communicate clearly. Right? It's just like, it seems like it's not like he has a point. He has a point. I guess that's all that I have to agree with. Because, I mean, other than that, he's not trying to do anything else other than make a point. But I guess his main point is, does a wise person should never be angry? Up for debate. I think it's up for debate. I don't think the case is closed on that one. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think, man, in the comment section down below. This video, I made it really long. Sorry about that. Fuck, man. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Press the subscribe button, you know, all of that good stuff. If you like the shit, right? You don't have to, but it'd be nice. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Probably maybe this one. Aperture, you know, is calling to me. I like that. I like that thumbnail, and I need to make better thumbnails for myself too. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. See ya.